getting all dressed up from time to time, right? And I've always been a big fan of a great costume party or theme. And some of you guys have really gone out. It's amazing. Congrats to you all. This is fun. Some of you may recognize me or even know who I am, and others of you may have no idea. My name is Charlie Anne Xavier. Had you told me even a year and a half ago that I'd be confined to this wheelchair tonight, I would not have believed you. Not me. Life was pretty good. You see who I am now, but who I am now is vastly different than who I was. Tonight, I'll share with you how tragedy can strike at any moment, unannounced and uninvited, upend your reality, and how everything can change in an instant. None of us knows what lies ahead, whether a peak or a valley. However, no matter what life throws at you, no matter how dark your despair, I have found that there's truly always something to be grateful for. No matter how dark, there's always light to be found. And beauty can come from ashes. Brené Brown said, "Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light." Man, did I have to learn this the hard way. I'm a firm believer of this because even at my darkest moments, somehow I found the light and have forged forward. Who was I? I was a wife, a mother, and a go-getter. It was rare to see me sitting, and I always had something up my sleeve. My husband Andre and I owned several businesses that I helped with, while also raising our 2 young boys, London, who is now 5, and Julian, who is almost 2. I was the social coordinator amongst my friends, the one who showed up when someone in the community had a need, a master baker, and the hostess with the mostest. I was that mom who made sensory bins and things from scratch. You can hate, it's fine, some of my friends do. I was a perfectionist and I rarely slowed down. That all changed on September 10th, 2021, when my fast-paced life literally imploded and stopped on a dime. It was an ordinary day. Andre, my husband, and I were bickering. Anyone? I rushed out the door, coffee in hand, muttering annoyances about my husband in my head. It's okay, you can laugh, we laugh now too. It was a sunny, warm September day. Andre and his business partner were opening a brewery in a week's time, and I was hard at work helping to finish the little odds and ends any chance I could get. That day, my task was to sand a chalkboard for the play area, to be a perfect spot for the kids to run and play while their parents sipped our local brews. Unbeknownst to me, there were fumes that had seeped out from a nearby gas can and collected underneath the workstation. This unknown would nearly take my life. In an instant, I slipped on the fumes, quickly realizing it was gas, but it was too late. The sander dropped, resulting in an explosion. I was engulfed in flames, my body covered in fire. I was on the ground and I screamed in agony. I bellowed out in pain. The pain I felt was unimaginable. If I didn't stand up, I would have been burned to death, and I knew it at the time. Terrified, agony, fear, a living hell. The people who would come to help would witness tragedy. A young mother dead, a devastated widow, little confused, heartbroken boys without their mother. I kept repeating, "Please God, let me live. Please God, let me live. My boys, oh my God, my beautiful boys. Let me get home to my boys. I have to live to get home to my boys." My battle cry, repeated over and over The battle cry I uttered to myself thousands of times after this moment, day in and day out. Miraculously, I got my footing. I crawled out of the fire. I took steps out of the pavilion and I rolled in the gravel. I saved my own life, and I continued my battle cry, please God, let me live. I have to live for my boys. I was alive. I survived the explosion, but my journey, my hell, was far from over. I was rushed via helicopter to VCU, which houses one of the best burn units in the country. I had 85% of my body covered in third-degree burns. None of the paramedics on scene expected me to make it to the hospital. Upon arrival, I was given a 3% chance to live and deemed the sickest person in the hospital. 3%. That's right, 3. And here I am, right here today. Check me out. I underwent 57 surgeries and was in the hospital for almost 6 months, followed by 3 months in an intensive rehab center. During this time, I didn't see my boys, and I was facing the reality that I'd never walk again, which was what my surgeons believed given the damage to my body. My body would never look the same. My identity was gone. My worth was gone. I could no longer be an effective mother. I felt useless. My life felt over as I knew it. At my darkest, I didn't even know if I could endure one day, let alone 2. I felt such intense fear and loss that I worried would never lessen. And I truly wondered if I'd ever be happy again. But I'm here tonight to tell you it did lessen. I found the light, and guess what? 3 weeks ago, I walked 860 feet with legs that don't bend, and I picked up and comforted my sweet toddler who had really big feelings. I was a mom again, and a really good one. There's many big and small miracles in my story. But one thing I've learned is that there's always gratitude to be found. And there's big gratitude and there's small gratitude. I have big gratitude for things like surviving. I have gratitude for my rescuers, including the Gordonsville Fire Department. I have gratitude for my husband, Andre, who advocated for me, ensuring I got the best care. I have gratitude for my girlfriends who filled my family's every need and more. I'm talking hundreds of meals, clothes for my kids, birthday parties planned, everything you can imagine. I have gratitude for groundbreaking medical care. Gratitude for the generosity of others covering my home renovations. Family members dropped their lives in an instant and traveled across the world to mother my boys when I couldn't. I have gratitude for my community who lined the streets with balloons and signs to welcome me home. I also have so much small gratitude, and that's also really important. Like my hairstylist who came to rehab to make me feel pretty when my hair started growing back again the first time. I have gratitude for the nurse who created spa days for me, making me feel pampered. I have gratitude for the nurse who watched movies with me all night long when I couldn't sleep. I have gratitude for that first sip of sweet tea I had after being unable to drink liquids for 3.5 months. The taste, the thirst quenched. I have gratitude for the sounds of birds chirping outside when I wasn't sure if my hearing would return. I have gratitude to get my voice back and hear myself laugh. I have a very obnoxious one. Gratitude for that first date night when I did my makeup for the first time without the use of my dominant hand. I have gratitude for when I feel tired after being a mom all day and keeping up with 2 active boys. I have gratitude for spontaneous conversations with neighbors gathered outside on beautiful days, and all the tasty treats and delicious meals. And I have gratitude for that perfectly frothy coffee going down so smooth. I lived on coffee. And I have gratitude for French fries smothered in garlic aioli. I have gratitude to host my girlfriends again and to plan decorations for the holidays. Friends would say my house is like the North Pole at Christmas time. They've even driven up and seen me on the roof putting lights up before. Not anymore. I have gratitude for celebrating milestones and moments, big and small, and to be alive, and to feel alive, and to watch my people grow. I could go on, but the point is, when things are good, take a moment to notice, big and small, and let yourself pause and experience gratitude. And when things are hell, find gratitude. Even when it's hard, it's there. I promise you it's there. If you look, you can find it, and it can save your life like it did mine. It can pull you out of the darkest holes and replace anguish with hope. And I'll end with this quote by author Amy Collette. Gratitude is a powerful catalyst for happiness. It's the spark that lights a fire of joy in your soul. Thank you guys so much.